Hi, hello. I decided to go live again. He's all right. I wanted to pop on live because something was sparked and is alive in us. What I want to talk about today a little bit is something that was sparked from one of my posts this week, and a friend, Justine, commented about learning to trust yourself as part of healing. And I'm like, yeah, like it's just been with us since she made that comment, because that has basically been the theme of my healing journey and what is the crux of a healing journey. So what this is about is, and what pretty much all of the work that I'm doing with Love School, with my mentorship, Mama Bear mentorship, is this. Learning to trust yourself is healing. It is the healing journey. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't seek support from others when you need it. It doesn't mean that you avoid getting advice or seeking medical attention if that's what you need, therapy if that's what you need. But what it does mean is not giving your power to other people and thinking, believing, hoping, praying, wishing that they are going to heal you or save you. That's not possible. Nobody can heal you. We are created to exist in a state of alignment, and our bodies, our mind, our spirit always is seeking that point of wellness and alignment. And staying in tune with that guides, and knowing how to understand and respond to it always guides us towards healing. To give the simplest example, because we all see this all the time and we know this innately, so I know when I say this, you know it's true. When we cut ourselves, we don't have to do anything. That cut will heal. Now, there are conditions that will either support that cut to heal, and there are conditions that could aggravate, slow down, or worsen the wound that we're trying to heal. And learning how to master which is helpful and which is a hindrance is how we navigate and trust ourselves on that healing journey. So, for example, if you cut yourself, you might clean around the wound, you might put a plaster on, and then you probably just leave it, depending on where it is. You might need to stitch it if it's a really deep cut. You might need to go to the hospital if it's a really serious cut, or get someone who is professionally skilled to help to knead that wound together in a way so it can heal. But the actual process of healing is passive, as in nothing happens other than we allow it to heal. If you ignore the cut, if you cut yourself and you ignore it and then start doing a bit of gardening or doing a bit of work, and you are aggravating that cut without giving it any attention, if you are ignoring any dirt that is around that and you're not cleaning that cut and that dirt's getting in it, it's going to get worse potentially, because then bacteria and things is getting in it and the wound can get infected. And the more we ignore the wound, the less likely it is to heal well. So us trusting what to do and when is how we support a healing journey. And there are times when that is seeking support, and there's times when that's leaving things alone. There are times when we can do that work within ourselves, and there are times when we need to reach out for support, for help from other people, to seek expert advice. But the expert is not us. So they don't know our unique situation or what caused the issue, the problem that we're seeking healing or advice about. All they can advise about is how their experience to best create the environment to support that healing. They are not able to cure or heal you. They're just providing support for the environment to allow that to happen within yourself. And I think what has happened in our society is we're taught that other people know better than us what we need to heal. So doctors or therapists, teachers, religious leaders are positioned as knowing or being wise enough to have all the answers. And there is a lot to be gained for wisdom, for sure. But the wisdom is in relation to maybe the problem and the environment, and it's not specific to you and what you need. So the art, and this is why I call it an art, and because actually it has a parallel in art. Like, I might go off on a tangent here, I'm sorry, but hopefully it'll help. When you paint a painting, the art, the mastery of painting comes from knowing what's the right bit of this, what's the right colour, what's the right texture, what's the right shape, what's the right pattern, knowing when to start and knowing when to stop. Knowing when you need more and then knowing when to leave it. And anyone who's done a bit of art and ruined it because you've done too much will know that. Or anyone who's done a bit of art and then freaked themselves out because it's not good enough and given up too soon, I'll know that feeling. And it's really the same with ourselves and our healing journey, that sometimes we need to get more. Sometimes we need to do more. Sometimes we need to expand our mind. We need to expand our energy. We need to expand our experience so we can accommodate more in our environment, more wisdom, more education, more energy, more people, whatever it is. We might need to expand to gain more. But then there very often becomes a point where that's enough. And then what we need is to retreat, to allow that to integrate, to do less, to rest, to allow our body and mind and spirit to come back to itself, to find the peace and the healing. Like the cut, there's only so much you can do that's going to be helpful before picking at it is going to become harmful and make it worse. And that's the art. Knowing when and what and where to go to create that environment that the cut is clean and protected, and then knowing when to leave it alone. Because that's where the magic comes from healing, isn't it? We can see it. When you cut yourself, and then over a couple of weeks, it just disappears as if it never happened. And obviously different wounds are going to appear in different ways. They're going to have different depths, like I said at the beginning. But knowing when to pick things up and when to put them back down again is vital. And there was something else I wanted to speak about a little bit on this, especially with regards to our deeper wounds, which is that when we're wounded, when we're in pain, we respond. Very often we can respond from a place of fear and pain in order to try and change that environment and bring in what we need. That can be a very powerful, motivating energy. We know this. This is why, like, coaches and marketers push on your pain points, right? Because we know it's a very motivating and powerful energy to respond to pain. When we create our lives in response to that, without being prepared to let go of it when it's enough, when it's no longer serving us, or when we realize that what we've done is created a life that is all built around our pain, which was something that I've had to come to terms with in some ways myself a lot. It's never going to allow us to come back to that place of healing, because the foundations are from a different place. The foundations are from that pain point. And we realize then that letting go, moving on from the situations that we created or invited into our lives at a time when we needed them, that we felt would support our healing, when we let go of them, they're going to potentially cause us more pain. Like, let's go back to the cut, like ripping off the plaster. We know that's going to be painful. So very often we can avoid that for a really, really long time. But again, keeping the analogy going with the cut and the plaster, if you keep the plaster on for too long, the plaster then starts to attract dirt and bacteria and can actually cause other problems because it softens the skin underneath, and it can make our, the wider environment of our hand more vulnerable, dirty, and invite a whole different host of problems. So we need to again know when those things that we've invited in for healing need to come off. And like the plaster, if we don't take it off ourselves and go through that slight discomfort, and it's often very quick, right? Once we remove it, we heal a lot faster. But if we avoid it, what will eventually happen is the plaster is going to fall off anyway because we don't need it. And there just might be more consequence to clean up around it. So this is what I just wanted to talk about a little bit, because one, it's what I'm creating all of the supportive work around that I do at the minute, is that process and things that can help and support mind, body, spirit as we heal, that we need at different times. And the reason that I'm offering the stuff I do and the way I do is because I know sometimes you pick some things up and then you have to drop it off. Some things you might hold on for longer than others, but generally we're always evolving and changing. And when you're in a state of alignment and healing, you don't really need anything. You don't need as much as what we have been conditioned to believe you do. And you generally don't need to hold on to the crutches and the practices and the rituals that you have been doing when you're on a healing journey. And knowing when to let them go, knowing when enough is enough, is a really important skill. And that is the healing. When you get to that point, when I reach that point, when I realize, oh my God, like I actually know when I am not in alignment, and I know when I am in alignment, and it's the most calm, well, strong place I've been. And I really want to support you, other people, to find that in themselves too, because I genuinely think that is how we heal each other and the planet, and we move away from this fight and flight, production, consumer-based society that causes us all so much unconnected harm. If this is something that you found relevant or interesting and you want to find out more, I am doing a bit of background stuff to Jiggle Up Love School, and I'm going to be telling you more about that soon. That's self-directed learning. That's stuff you can access yourself and understand yourself with a bit of support in the community. But that's more what you can do and understand your unique needs and healing journey. And I'm also, alongside that, opening up a few spaces on my mentorship, which is one-to-one. So if you need more support, as in you really want somebody there with you while you go through the process of discovering that, there's 2 programs, but the main active one at the minute that I'm working on is the Art of Enough, and we'll be looking at those skills of knowing when you have enough, when you would like to allow more into your life, and what that looks like for you. It's all based on trauma-informed work, understanding how experiences and trauma affect our mind, body, spirit system holistically. If it sounds like something you want to know more about, send me a message, or you can visit loveschool.uk and find out more on there. I'm still working on it, so it's updating and changing all the time at the minute, but feel free to send us a message. I'm happy to chat with you. I hope this is helpful and that it supports that part in you that knows this is true. When we can get to that point where we know we've got the skills, when we know we can trust ourselves, we don't need to be relying then on other people, other services. Doesn't mean that we cut people out completely and we never use them. It just means we don't feel that desperate space of reliance, worry, stress that we can't, that we're not enough ourselves, that we can't get through this ourselves, we haven't got enough. No, we always have. We always have, even when we need to seek more. And knowing how to navigate that is, in my view, the success point of a healing journey. Because life always happens. We're always going to get nicks and cuts. But knowing how to heal those nicks and cuts is the success. Thank you very much for watching, and just take care of yourselves, and feel free to comment, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.